Life is all about restarts, isn't it? It's all about coming back again, being in the game, just starting up, just showing over and not quitting. Don't quit. Don't give up. This is a new day. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. Make the most of every opportunity that this day presents to you. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This is where you do it your way. As the bottom of the screen says, you do what is right for your body. What I mean by that is you don't have to make a pose look any particular way. All you've got to do is let the pose feel good in your body. Everybody's body is different. Every day is different. You've got to do what is right for you. If a pose just isn't cutting it for you, don't do it. Take it to a lesser percentage. Don't do it. Take a break. Maybe take it to 5%. It's all good. Give it a little bit of a try, but just accept what you can do today. And if you keep coming back every single day, because I'm here every single day, if you keep coming back every single day, you will get better. You will get stronger. You will get more flexible and you will get more mobile. It's a 1 hour long practice, live, start to finish. No cuts, nothing. It's all real. It's genuine. It's just like being in a real class, but you're doing it from the privacy of your own home. So you can do it your way and not be embarrassed or not feel like you got to keep up or, oh, I just can't do it. I'm not flexible enough. Yes, you are. You're perfect just the way you are. Okay, we practice every day. Every day our practices are different. Some days you may find a little harder than the others, but it doesn't matter. You can do them because you modify them and make them work for you. I stress that so much. Do that. Make it work for you. Maybe you can stick around for the whole hour. Maybe it's only 10 minutes. Totally fine. Just give it a go. Every day, give it a try. The word to think about as you practice today is this word. It's acceptance. Acceptance means to take or receive with favor. With favor. Be happy for what you can do. Really focus on that. Being happy for what you can do, letting everything else go. Ease off of the expectations. Who are you trying to keep up with anyway? Ease off of the expectations. Do what you can, even if you think, oh, it's so little, what's the point? Do what you can because it still works. It really, really, really does. Trust me. All right, you're gonna need a couple props for today. The props we always like to have are a couple of yoga blocks, a towel. You're going to need a towel today. Maybe a yoga strap or the belt to your bathrobe, whatever. An eye shade I like to have for final Shavasana to cover the eyes, or just use your towel, and have some water nearby. So these are all good props to have. So buy them at the store. Order them on Amazon. They'll be delivered tonight. Maybe be delivered before your yoga's over. All right, you got your props. We're going to come to standing, and you can have a chair. That's another good prop. Okay, here she is. All right, she was such a performer the other day. I hope she does better today. All right, so you're going to lock a stress number in on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, like when you go to the doctor's office. What are you feeling in your body right now? Remember that number. The yoga works not only on your body, but on your mind and your soul, and you'll feel so much better in those 3 parts of your body, your physical body, your mind, and your soul. Just relax into the yoga. All right. Let's warm up. Take a confident stance. Feet a little wider than hip width distance. Hey, shoulders, hands. These are your hands. Hands on your hips, shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Let it go. Make some sound. Truly, nobody's around you. Make some noise. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Let it go. Hands are on your hips. Maybe you've got a chair here. Totally fine for the balance. We're going to work on the feet. Ideally, be in bare feet. If you have sneakers on, that's fine, but just start to rise on up to the balls of your feet. You know what works for you. Make it work for you, and just be a little daring. Just be a little daring. Try something a little different. Maybe do take the shoes off and see how that feels. Maybe think of sending your shoulders back and down a little bit more. Maybe breathe more deeply in through your nose. Feel the cool, refreshing breath. And a big, loud sigh out. All right, so we want to start with our foundation. We want to build from the ground up. That's why we start with the feet and the ankles. The ankles, you want to keep them strong. The feet, you want to keep them strong and you want to loosen them up. Are you feeling it in your Achilles tendon and in your calves? Oh yeah. All right, so you're rising and lowering, keeping the heel behind the toes as best you can, not letting the feet splay out this way and that. Chest is lifted, shoulders are back and down. Focus. Focus your gaze a little upward And just work on the feet and the ankles. Bring your heels down. Lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Place your feet down and now lift your arms up. So feet are solidly rooted. Maybe bring your feet in a little bit or out a little bit, whatever feels good. Lengthen up through your fingertips, extended mountain pose. Your hands, spiral them in so the pinkies are a little in, a little bit more. Palms are more toward your midline. Lengthen up, lift on up. And then as you exhale, let your arms sweep down. Inhale, big exaggerated movements. Arms sweep up and they reach far. Exhale, arms sweep down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, make it audible. Keep going. And just realize, success is not in the achievement. I don't know how high you're raising your arms. Whatever you're doing is good. Success isn't in the achievement of a goal that somebody else sets, but your success is in your endurance. Hanging in there, not quitting, not giving up. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more big breath in. Lengthen up, interlace your fingers, palms up to the sky, palm tree pose. Appropriate pose for those of us in Florida, right? Sway from side to side. Oh, this pose feels really good. It should feel really good. If it doesn't feel good, take it to what does feel good. Maybe that means a bend in your elbows. Maybe it means moving a little bit less. Maybe it means having your hand on that chair and reaching an arm to the side. Switching to another chair, reaching the arm to the side. Whatever it takes, let it feel good. So, we're moving our spine sideways. We're moving it in a lateral flexion. We're going to bend it forward and back in just a moment as we awaken the spine and those muscles in between your ribs. Big inhales, nose. Big exhale, mouth. All right, now with our fingers, bring your hands to your low back. Press your hips forward, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look a little bit higher. Now take your hands. If you feel good and stable here, let's try something a little different. Or if you don't feel so good and stable, maybe hold on to your low back. Totally fine. I'm going to interlace my fingers. I'm going to press my thumbs into my bottom. I'm going to open up my chest and I'm going to gaze up high. I'm going to pull my fingers, my hands down toward the earth. And now I'm going to hinge forward. Keep your fingers interlaced. If you don't have them interlaced, let your arms hang down by your sides. Put a little bend in your knees. If you've got your fingers interlaced, send them up to the sky. We're working on the shoulders today. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. Let's do it again. Rise on up. Slowly come on back up to standing. Shoulders over your hips. Oh, those interlaced fingers, send them down, down, down toward the earth and look up, up, up to the sky. Exhale. Hinge forward. Little bend in the knees might feel good. Try it. Interlace fingers, go high up to the sky. Or you could always have your arms reaching down toward the earth. No worries. Don't say, oh, I can't do that, so I failed. No, whatever you're doing is good. You're moving. That's important. Send your fingers a little higher to the sky if you can, if you want. When you're ready, let your arms come down by your sides. Roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Bring your chin off of your chest last. Nice job. Good job in the palm tree. Good job in the forward and the backward movement of the spine. Let's windmill our arms. A lot of times we tee them out and draw circles. Today, let's have those circles go forward and back. All right, so we're getting into the shoulders. Kind of think like a windmill. 2 windmills going. Breathe. Maybe put a little bend in your knees and then come on up to standing. Whatever feels good. Just get your knees moving a little bit. Take your big windmill arms in the opposite direction, like you're swimming a backstroke. And same thing, maybe put a little bend in your knees and then come up to standing. Little bend in your knees and come up to standing. Whatever feels right. So those big windmill arms, that big backstroke. Maybe it's not such a big backstroke. Maybe it's just a little kinder, slower, gentler movement. Maybe you prefer to draw circles to the side of the room like we normally do. It's up to you. Just move in the shoulders. All right, let's bring the shoulders to stillness. Let them rest down. Let your fingers be down by your sides. Palms are in towards your thighs. Take a big breath in. And a refreshing breath out. Start to twist from side to side in your big coat swing. So imagine like a child in a coat that's way too big. You know, it's really cute when the arms are hanging down and they're just playing dress up. They're just going to twist from side to side, letting those big loose arms of that coat hit the backside, hit the hip, hit the other backside, hit the hip. And then turn and twist and look over your shoulder. Really take a good twist here. And what's a good twist? A good twist is what feels good to you. You want to feel as if your body were like a washcloth and you're wringing it out. Over one shoulder, then the other. And adjust your feet. I don't know what stance feels good for you. Maybe you want to up the challenge. Close your eyes as you twist and twist and twist. Or keep them open. It's all right. It's all good. Just find the little variation that makes it more of a little challenge for you. You got to have the challenges in life. That's what keeps it fun, right? All right, finish up. Slow it on down. Let's come into our ragdoll pose. This is a great pose. If you sit at your desk way too much, or sit at your TV or your chair or whatever way too much, and we all are guilty of it, do ragdoll pose periodically every time you get up. Take your hands to opposite elbow creases. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold forward, put a little bend in your knees. Look back towards your ankles. Look back towards your knees. Look up towards your belly button. Let your arms hang heavy and put a bend in your knees. Breathe in. Sigh it out, let it go. Start to sway one elbow back toward one knee, then the other elbow back toward the other knee. So gentle swaying here. Your chin is tucked toward your chest as the crown of your head is falling toward the earth. Little stretches here of the low back. Alleviate tension in the low back. Let it feel good in your low back. So you're decompressing your spine. Shake your head a little bit. Don't sweat it. It's just yoga. It's no big deal. You're just moving. You're trying to find that full range of motion, the movement, and everything you got every day so you can move better off of your mat. All right, let's finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. Release your fingers to your mat. Bend your knees and come on down. Take a child's pose. All right, child's pose. A lot of ways to do it. Two big variations. There's classic child's pose and then the extended child's pose. Have your block nearby if you want. You don't have to use the block if you don't want to. All right, here you go. Knees can be together, big toes touching. Hips go back towards your heels and your arms are down by your sides with your palms face up. You can have the block underneath your forehead and imagine finding length in your spine as you lengthen from your tailbone through the crown of your head. I'm going to scoot my block a little bit more forward. Hands down by your sides, palms face up, fingers reaching toward the bottom of the mat. Little tight, concise pose here in your child's pose. This is the classic variation. Extended variation, the one I like to take, is spreading the knees a little bit wider, big toes touch, hips still go back towards your heels, arms reach long to the top of the mat. You could place that block under your chest or your forehead if that feels good. You could bring your forehead down to the earth if that feels good. You could up the game a little bit for the shoulders by bringing the hands onto the block, which is at the top of the mat, or use both blocks. Have one block under one hand, then the other block under the other. Lots of ways to use your blocks. Do what feels good for the one and only body that you've been gifted. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, let's do what is called Ujjayi Pranayama breath. All that is closing your lips now and breathing completely in and out of your nose. It might not work for you, and if it doesn't work, skip it. Breathe any way that is comfortable, but just keep your breaths long, not shallow. I'm going to close my lips. As I breathe in and out of my nose, I can hear my breath in the back of my throat. Kind of an empowering Darth Vader kind of sound. Strength as you inhale. Release as you exhale.
So that is your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Continue with it if you like, or don't do it at all. But just breathe deeply and pay attention to your breath. If your breath is shallow, it means you're working too hard, and you don't want to do that. Don't stress out. And don't hold your breath. Just re-energize, reinvigorate with every breath, breathing in and breathing out. Think of breathing in the good. Think of breathing out the bad, that which doesn't serve you. Why hold on to things that don't serve you? All right, this is your child's pose, whichever variation you're in. Come back to it anytime you like. I'm going to remove my hands from the blocks, and then I'm going to take my arms, and you can do this in either variation. Bend your elbows, bring your palms of your hands to touch, hug your biceps up near your ears, and put your hands in prayer behind your head. So it's a little stretch in the triceps, the area behind your back upper arm. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel that stretch in that part of the arm. When you're ready, if you want to come out of this pose, or if you want to stay in the pose longer, that's totally fine too. We're going to come out and do toes pose and ankle pose, but it's up to you if you want to do it or stay in your child's pose. I'm going to grab my blocks and imagine the blocks is bringing the ground up to me. I'm going to tuck my toes towards my shins, and I'm going to have a seat back on my heels. This is your toes pose. You can have your blocks by your side, totally fine, or no blocks at all. Bring your hands back to prayer center and do something nice for you. In your mind, complete this statement. I am fill in the blank, and make it positive. Make it really, really good. Nobody knows what it is. Make it as fabulous as you want. Say, how about I am gorgeous? I am wonderful. I am the strongest person on the earth. Make it really outrageously wonderful about you. And why not? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, in your toes pose, if it is painful, obviously, any pose that's painful, come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, hang with it. You got it. You can use the blocks or no blocks at all. We're going to release the toes now, coming to the tops of the feet onto the mat, and have a seat back on your heels again. So now you're on the tops of your feet. So think of those ankles. They're getting a full range of motion stretch here. Now you can lift your knees up, but keep your knees together. You can press your hands into your blocks or don't use the blocks at all. That's kicking it up a notch, challenging your balance. I'm going to bring my hands back to prayer center. Whenever you do that, think of your positive little comment. Breathe and hold here. You can close your eyes if you want to challenge your balance. Let's take it to a toes pose again. Use your hands if you want. If you don't have any blocks, totally fine. Maybe you want to rest your hands on your thighs. Maybe you want to come to prayer center. Hold on. Think of sending breath to your toes to create space there. Sounds silly, but if you think about it, it kind of happens. Breathe. All right, I'm going to go back to my ankle pose. I'm going to sit back on the tops of my feet. And as long as it doesn't hurt, keep at it. Go for it. Enjoy your pose. So, all right, Meredith, you had said this quote from Julian of Norwich. It is, all is well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. Isn't that nice? Just thinking, everything is well. It is well with my soul. All right, I'm going to tuck my toes, hands to prayer center. One more time in the ankle pose, just finding that movement. Think about how important your foundation is, your ankles, your feet. Breathe. All right, let's come out of it. Come to a neutral tabletop. What is that? Shoulders over the wrists, knees under the hips. All right, feet, lift them up, squeeze and scrunch your toes. They worked hard. Circle your ankles in one direction, circle your ankles in the other. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat like a drum roll. There, rest the feet. We're going to do cat-cow. All right, so your cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky, push the tops of your feet into the mat, push your hands into the mat, and arch your back. Now take the opposite. The complementary pose here is cow. Crown of the head lifts, tailbone lifts. So you're moving your spine in that full range of motion going from the letter C, curve in the spine, to a letter C backwards in the spine. Crown of the head and tailbone lift in cow. Keep it up with your cat-cow pose. Move your spine and let it feel good. All right, the next pose, if you want to do it, we're going to do cat pulling its tail. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. If you want to continue with your cat-cow, go ahead. I'm going to do cat pulling its tail, so let's take it in layers. See what you think. Lift your right knee up. Lift your right knee up so it's about at hip height. Dial your right hip down so your hips are equidistant to the mat. Your toes, draw your right toes towards your shin. Draw your heel towards your bottom. Maybe you stay right here. Totally fine. Maybe you pulse the foot in towards your bottom. Perhaps you push hard into the earth. Your right leg is lifted, so let's take the left arm. Reach the left hand around and grab your right foot, so you're crossing the midline of your body. Push into the earth, kick into your left hand. Ooh, I feel it in my left collarbone. Look to the left side of your mat. Look to the left side of your room. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist as you look perhaps over your shoulder. Keep kicking hard into that left hand with the right foot. There you go, cat pulling its tail. Bring the knee down, bring the hand down. Let's take the other side. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Take it in little layers. Maybe you're continuing with your cat and cow pose. It's all good. So from a neutral tabletop, I'm going to lift my left knee. I'm going to draw my heel toward my bottom. I'm going to draw my toes toward my shin so I feel tight and strong here. I'm going to dial my left hip down just a little bit. Maybe you kick your heel in towards your bottom. Right hand reaches around and grabs the left foot. Kick into the hand. Open up through the collarbones. Look to the right side of your mat. Look a little higher. Look a little farther. All right, so Atlas. We can all picture Atlas, right? The weight of the world on Atlas's shoulders. Sometimes you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Deepen your twist. Deepen your twist. We're going to take a thread the needle pose. After this, release your hand. Release your knee. Take a cycle of cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest, tailbone under. Inhale, cow pose, tailbone and crown of the head lift. Come back to a neutral tabletop so you feel like your back is nice and straight. Thread the needle pose. Here we go. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Twist and try to look up to your hand a little bit. All right, your right hand is the thread. Thread it through the needle. The left arm is the needle. Bring the right arm under the left. Reach the left arm higher to the sky and then bring your arm through. Come on down to your shoulder. But if that is not doable, if you're saying no way on that one, here's what you can do. Just give yourself a big hug. Give yourself a big hug, and perhaps the arm that's on the bottom, you lift that away, hug the shoulder in just a little bit more, and then let that right arm reach long. So you're just kind of hugging the arm in. You know this pose, you know this movement. We all kind of do it. Call it yoga, call it whatever. All right, so maybe that's what you prefer. I'm gonna go to the thread the needle, gonna adjust my knees. Left arm comes along to the top of the mat. You could bring a block under your shoulder. Bring your right cheek down and breathe here. Big stretch in the shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out, let it go. Your left arm, the one that's high to the sky, maybe bend the elbow, maybe lift the arm high to the sky. The arm is lifted, maybe bend the elbow again and bring the back of the left hand down around the hip on the right side. Open up through the left shoulder. Maybe you like that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just lift the arm up, or maybe you keep it down on the mat, reaching to the top of the mat. So let's come out of this pose, come out of it the way you came in. Unthread the needle, send the right arm back up to the sky, twist and look up. Hand comes down. Thread the needle on the other side, or switch out your arms and give yourself kind of that big hug or that big stretch in the shoulders. Left arm lifts high to the sky. Left arm threads as I exhale underneath the right arm. Right arm reaches to the top of the mat. Left cheek comes down to the mat. Left hand reaches to the right side of the mat. Right arm reaches long. Shoulder is down on the mat or a block. Adjust your hips so you're comfortable. I'm going to take my right arm, send it up to the sky. I'm going to bend the elbow, taking the back of the right hand to the outside of my left hip. Breathe and just be at peace. Right? You got it. Breathe here, let it be. And don't pray for lighter burdens in your life, because the burdens are going to come. So pray for stronger shoulders and get going to make it happen. And you are right now. Let's come out of this pose. I'm going to send my arm back up to the sky, then I'm going to float it on down, up toward the top of my mat. I'm going to pull the left hand through. I'm going to send it back up to the sky while working the right hand under the right shoulder. I'm going to look up to my left hand. Then I'm going to come down. Neutral tabletop. Cat-cow pose in its classic variation. Chin to the chest, tailbone under, pushing the earth away. Inhale, cow pose. Let it feel really, really good for you. All right, let's do a plank. Planks build strength in your body, so important. If you're new to planking, try it this way. Lie down completely on your back, send your hands up to the sky as if the ceiling were the ground. Totally fine. Another variation you could graduate to after that is go next to your wall. So you have to stand up, go next to your wall, put your hands on the wall, step your feet back however long feels good away from the wall. Lean your body forward so you feel the strength in the upper arms. So lots of ways to do it. Other ways you could do it from your neutral tabletop. Maybe you walk your hands more forward, hinge the weight more forward, and just hold it here, being strong in the arms and the shoulders. Perhaps you come down to your forearms, having them parallel to the sides of your mat. Have your shoulder over your elbow for strength and proper alignment. Work your knees on back and stay here. You could draw your toes towards your shins and press on up to a dolphin plank. Another variation would be your high plank. That would be your arms straight with your shoulders over your wrists and your legs long, pushing the earth away. I'm going to take a dolphin plank today because I want to strengthen my shoulders a little bit more. All the variations strengthen your shoulders, but I just want to take that. And whichever variation you're in, just think plank. Think strength, because you've got it. All right, so Dwayne's gonna set a timer here on the screen, so it's up to you. 1 minute, here we go. Come into the variation you want to take. All right, so I'm in this dolphin plank. I could be on my knees. That's a fine variation. But I'm gonna think plank. I'm gonna think strength. I'm gonna think lengthening through my spine. I'm pressing hard into my forearms, pressing hard into my hands. My fingers are spread wide. Timer, let's see how we're doing. We're like 35 seconds in. Keep your back flat and straight. Draw your belly button to your spine. Long in the spine. Strong in the body. Strong in the mind. Think you can, because you can. Don't quit, don't give up. Take breaks if you want. We got 15 seconds left. A break would be coming down to your knees. A break, if you're in high plank, could be going up to downward facing dog. Totally fine. Push the earth away. Stay strong. You've got it. You've done harder things than this for the last 3, 2, 1 second. We are done. Come on down to your knees. Grab a seat, grab some water. You did it. Maybe you're building up to more time. Maybe 5 seconds. Last week was as long as you could do. Maybe this week you're up to 12. Only way you're going to improve, you know this, is to show up and keep doing it. Life is all about restarts. Show up and stay in the game. All right, a drink. All right, here's another idea too. Throughout your day, if you go up and down steps in your house, maybe plank on the steps. So, maybe put a distance of like 4 or 5 steps between you. Put your hands on the stairs, step your legs back, and hold it there for a little bit. You could plank against the wall or in your kitchen, on your kitchen counter. Step back from your counter, put your hands on there, and do an incline plank. Why not, right? Okay, let's go. Core things. Let's bring our soles up. Let's come to seated. Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Soles of the feet touch, knees open wide. Positive mantra, hands at prayer center. Lengthen up and recline. Come all the way back, all the way down onto your mat. Once you're all the way down, knees open wide, bend your elbows, bring your fingers to your temples. Elbows are open wide, knees are open wide. Stay here if you want. All right, because you're not getting a nice stretch in the inner thighs, nice stretch in the chest. Breathe here. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Maybe you sigh it out. All right, let's come back to Ujjayi Pranayama breath if you want, or breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth during this core series. Lift the shoulders up as you exhale and bring them on down as you inhale. Little lifts, little lowers, strong core. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Up on the exhale, down on the inhale. You got it. You got it. Keep at it. Don't give up. Breaks are fine. Maybe you do 3 little sit-ups. All good. Take breaks when you need. When you're ready, hang time. Hold it up, hold it up. Elbows back, chin to the sky. Just hold it here for a moment or two. Check in with your knees. Make sure they're open. Check in with your elbows. Make sure they're open. Hold it. And then come on down, all the way down. Now let's do bicycle pose. Here's several ways you can do it. Bring your knees together, soles of your feet touch. Align your legs like you're about to go into a bridge pose. Totally fine. Keep your feet here. Maybe you bring your hands back to your temples and you want to stay low in the legs. Exhale, lift on up to the shoulders. Bring opposite elbow toward opposite knee. Just a little twist here. Twists are good. Maybe you decide to keep your shoulders down and lift your legs up, bringing your knees over your hips, bringing your toes towards your shins, sending your heels to the bottom of your mat. Reach and stretch. One leg bends and the other comes closer to your chest, as if you were riding a recumbent bicycle. Hands could stay on your hips or keep them at your temples. Maybe you put them both together, lifting your shoulders. Keep pedaling, drawing opposite elbow toward opposite knee. Maybe you scissor kick, legs straighten, and your elbow comes toward your knees. Breathe. And let's finish here in this bicycle. Stretch it out in a stick pose. Legs go long, toes point. Arms come high overhead, thumbs touch the earth, fingers reach way beyond the top of your mat. Stretch it out like a big number 1. Breathe in. Breathe out, maybe sigh it out. Nice job. Let's do a boat pose, but let's do boat today on our forearms. Tomorrow is a more complicated boat, but tomorrow's a new day. Bend your elbows, have your elbows underneath your shoulders. Legs are long, chest is lifted. Maybe you lift one leg, lift it higher maybe, enjoy it. And bring it on down. Maybe you lift the other leg a little or more, lift it up. Bring it on down. Maybe you keep alternating with individual legs. Or maybe you lift both legs up. Take them up and hold them here. Chest stays lifted, don't come down in the chest. Maybe a bend in the knees feels better. It's up to you. Everybody's body is different. What feels right? Depending upon how tight your hip flexors are, you'll want to adjust your legs. So maybe bring the boat legs down a little bit. Maybe bring the boat legs up a little bit. Press into your hands. Stay strong here in your boat. Hold it. Stay strong. You've got it. Don't quit. Don't give up. When you're ready, let's finish. Feet come down, straighten the arms, press on up. Legs are long, toes up to the sky. Lift your arms up and reach. Exhale, belly button to your spine. Parallel arms, reach forward. Now look forward. Don't look down yet. Look forward, reach forward as if you're handing someone a really nice gift. Reach, reach, reach. Toes up toward the sky, reach. Reach your hands down to your feet, your ankles, your calves, whatever feels good. Hug the elbows in and take a restorative seated forward fold. Nose toward your knees. Breathe in, breathe out. Come on up to seated. Grab your 2 blocks and let's do a lunge. All right, so you've got 2 blocks. Come up to standing on your knees. Once you're standing on your knees, let's start with the right leg. Bring the right leg forward, knee over ankle. Using the blocks, push into them, and send your left leg straight and long on your mat. Those hip flexors I mentioned earlier, you're gonna really feel it in those. So it'll be in the left hip flexor, you'll feel it the most here. Right knee over right ankle. You could put a towel under your back knee if it doesn't feel so good on the knee. There's lots of ways to do it. Stay right here. I'm going to press into my fingertips on the blocks. Maybe you decide to do that. Bringing your shoulders more over your hips. It's up to you if that's what you want to do. Maybe lift your arms high up to the sky and just hold it here. Keep reaching high to the sky. As you're reaching high to the sky, push your right foot more into the mat and push the top of your left foot more into the mat. Feel what you feel in your back left hip flexor. I'm going to reach my arms a little more to the back of the room. Breathe in, breathe out. Push those feet, both feet, into the mat. Then bring your hands back up toward the sky. Exhale, hands back to prayer center. Interlace your fingers. Place those interlaced palms on your right thigh. Push your right thigh forward. Shoulders stay over your hips. Ooh, just feel that good stretch in the left hip flexor. Finish. Hands come back to the blocks. Take your right knee and have it meet your left knee. Bring your left leg forward. Left knee over left ankle. Press into your blocks. Send your right leg super duper long on your mat. Top of the right foot on the mat. Oh, I'm feeling it right there. Press into your blocks. Stay right here if you like. Maybe bring the shoulders a smidge higher so they're coming more over the hips, or not. Maybe your hands stay comfortably on the block, and that's where you want to be. Totally good. Acceptance. It's all about accepting where you are and realizing that's good enough. Hands to prayer center, time for your positive mantra. Maybe arms sweep up, lengthen here. Remember what we did on the other side. We pressed into both feet. I think pressing into that back leg, the top of that foot into the mat, makes a big difference. Lengthen up here. Maybe take your little baby back bend as you get more into the shoulders. I guess your hips are kind of like the shoulders of your legs, maybe? Think of it that way. Nice big stretch. I'm going to bring my hands back to prayer center and my shoulders over my hips. I'm just going to feel what I feel here. Nice deep stretch. Right leg is long. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms of those interlaced hands onto the top of the left thigh. I'm going to slide that thigh forward, just intensifying the stretch a little bit more. Breathe. Maybe close your eyes and just focus on the feeling in that right hip. And then I'm going to finish. I'm going to bring my hands down to my thighs. How are you doing? That's intense. All right, let's bring the right leg, sweep it up to meet the left leg as we come to standing. So maybe you draw the toes toward the shin. You've got the blocks. That's pretty nice. Maybe you press into the blocks as you sweep your right leg up. Or maybe you come up to standing without using the blocks. It's up to you. All right, so now you're standing. How do your hips feel? They're nice and stretched out, aren't they? All right, so let's take our arms. Let's do a couple of standing balancing poses. That's what I want to say. Lift your arms up high to the sky, extended mountain. Remember this? Take that little back bend, just kind of even the hips out. Take the little back bend, reach your fingers toward the back of the room, maybe reach them a little bit more, gaze up, and then exhale. Bring your shoulders back over your hips, hands to prayer center, positive mantra. Deep breath in, deep breath out. All right, tree pose, Vrikasana. Use your chair for balance if you want, totally fine. Root into one leg, open up the other leg with a bend in it, open it up to the side of the room. You can kickstand your foot, kind of like you did in your toes pose, right? Stay right there. Maybe that heel, you bring it inside the ankle and that feels a little more stable, more points of contact. Perhaps lift the foot up, press the foot into the shin, or higher still, bring it up and press it into the upper inner thigh. You know what I'm going to say? Just don't put that foot on the knee. You don't want to push the knee sideways. Knees weren't meant to bend that way. Hands back to prayer center. Focus upward. Don't look at the TV. Focus on something that's not moving. Focus up where the ceiling and the wall meet and hold it. Push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Grow a branch or two or hold on to your chair. Arms are reaching, fingers are wiggling. Focus. Stay strong. You're strong in that standing leg. You're stronger than you think. Give yourself credit. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the foot next to the other leg. You got another leg to do. Do this when you brush your teeth. Do this when you wash your dishes. Why not? Make the most of your time. I'm going to root into the other leg. Whoop, open up the other leg. Place the sole of the foot wherever feels right. That kind of a Barbie doll foot. Resting the heel on the inner ankle of the foundational leg. Slip it up higher and stay right here. Totally fine. Chair is a great prop to have with you. Think of it as a training partner. All right, I'm going to press my foot up into my inner standing thigh. I'm going to bring my shoulders over my hips, hands to prayer center, lengthen up, look up. Oh, just think of this. Come what may, all bad fortune is to be conquered by endurance. So if you fall out, no big deal. Get back in. Just keep trying. Just hang on. Hang on. What was it, Edison, that said, I found 101 ways not to invent the light bulb? Something like that. All right. Come on. You got it. Just stick with it. It's just yoga. But oh, it's so important. Your movement. Grow your branches. Wiggle your fingers. Hands float back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Place the foot down next to the other foot. Take a deep breath in, lengthen up, extended mountain. Little baby back bend. Fingers to the back of the room. Then fingers as you inhale, come up to the sky. Hands to prayer center, positive mantra, fold forward. Let your fingers hang toward the earth. Maybe this time they hang even closer to the earth than they did when you first began. Put a little bend in your knees. Gaze back to your knees or up towards your belly button. Shake and wiggle in the bottom. Wiggle your neck, wiggle your shoulders. It's all good. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Let's come up to that you will look taller pose. I love this pose. Arms reach like the letter Y. Your legs are zipped up. Your body looks like the word Y. First letter of each word, you will look taller. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Chest lifts. W for will, elbows come down, forearms parallel to the sides of your mat. Squeeze your spine. 2 L's forward and backward, forearms are parallel to the earth here. 2 L's and tee out your arms for the word taller and pulse your hands to the back of the room. You will look taller if you do this pose. Let's do it again. Big letter Y, big letter W, 2 L's forward and back. 1 big T for the word taller, breathe. Or the word terrific, just choose that one too maybe. All right, let's do it one more time. Just feel what you feel here. You know the movements, Y, W, L, T. Taller, you will look taller. Good job. Let your arms float down by your sides. Think of good posture. Think of your back nice and straight. Let's do a tough balancing pose called Warrior 3. You've done this before. You can have your chair in front of you. You can take it to as few degrees as you wish. I'm going to step forward with my right foot. I'm going to bend the weight into my right knee, softening it, and having my left leg long, and I'm just going to dance the toes on the back of the mat. Totally fine. Maybe a chair is in front of you and you place your hands on it. Lift the back leg up to what level you feel is comfortable. Maybe no chair and your arms reach long. Maybe you say, I'm going to put my hands on my hips today. I like that. Or reach the arms, or go back and forth from the arms reaching to the hands on the hips. Boy, that'll challenge your balance. Bring your body into the shape of a capital letter T. Hold it. Hands back to prayer center. Left foot meets right. Come up to standing. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Other side, right leg steps back, left leg steps forward. Weight into the left leg. Little kind bend in the knee. Hands to your hips, or to a chair, or no chair at all. Hinge forward. Lift the back leg as high as you want, as low as you want. It's all good. Reach, stretch, come into the fullest expression of your pose. Hold it. And when you're ready, Hands float back to prayer center. Left foot meets right. Nice job. Put a bend in both knees. Let's do chair. So sit your weight back in towards your heels. Hold it here. Totally fine. Hands on your hips are fine too. See how your body balances. Maybe reaching the arms forward allows you to sink your hips further back. Hold it here. Pop on up to the balls of your feet. Sweep your arms back, palms face down. Pinkies are in towards your low back. Look forward. Squeeze your pinkies towards your spine. Hold it here in your drinking bird pose. Maybe sink a little lower and hold. Maybe sink a little lower and hold. Maybe sink even lower so you're on your heels and then come on down to your mat. All right, so there's your drinking bird. Let's come on to our bellies and let's bring grab your towel. Grab your towel. We're gonna come onto our belly and we're gonna do Superman with a towel, and we're gonna do locust with a towel. We've done Superman before. We do that a lot on Fridays in our Yoga Plus class, so join us then. All right, so come on down to your belly. Ease on down. Take your towel in your hands. Lift your arms high toward the top of your mat. Superman pose. We've done this often. Maybe you lift one leg or the other or both. Oh, you know what I want to do today? Grab your block too. Place your block under your chest wherever it's comfortable. So your chest is lifted. Now lift one leg a little or the other or both. Lift both legs. Maybe that block is comfortable under your chest, maybe not. Make sure it's in the right spot for you. I'm gonna lift my arms and lift the arms up off the ground. Legs are lifted, arms are lifted. I'm gonna pull the towel to the sides of the mat. Hold it, fly in your Superman. Hold on, lift, you got it. Let's come on down. Remove the block. Just kind of gives you that little extra lift, thinking, hey, I can do this. I can lift my chest good and high. Remove the block. Arms go high or long to the top of your mat. Lift your legs. Lift your chest. Imagine that block is still there. Remember how high you were. And pull on that towel. Lift the arms, pull on the towel, lift the hips, lift the legs a little higher. Pull. You got it. Come on down. Come on down. Rest your chin, your nose on your mat. Locust pose with the towel. Bring the towel behind your low back. Have it in one hand, then reach the other hand around and grab the towel. So you're holding onto the towel at your low back or at your bottom. Head is at the midline of your body. When you're ready, pull the towel like you're gonna rip it apart. Pull the towel to the sides of your mat. Lift your chest up a little higher, gaze down your nose. Maybe lift your legs up as well, or you can keep them down. It's up to you. Just pull, pull, pull on that towel. Shoulders away from the ears. Pull, pull, pull on the towel. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and finish. Come on down, release the towel. Place your hands under your shoulders. Press on up, seal pose. Soften in your glutes, let it be. Come on up to standing on your knees. Gentle camel pose. All right, so little twist or big twist, it's up to you. I'm gonna tee out my arms and I'm gonna twist to the right, palms face down. Look over my right shoulder, just a little twist here. You know, little twist, big twist, it's up to you. Maybe you're looking forward, maybe you're looking more right. All things start off little. You gotta start by doing the little things, the big things will follow. Come back to the midline, twist in the other direction. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center, twist again to the right. Come back to center, twist again to the left. You got it. Maybe put your hands on your hips. Maybe look over your right shoulder and twist here. Come back to center, look over your left shoulder and twist here. Finish. Come back to center. Let's come down to a reclined position. Grab your towel and your eye shade. Bring them up near your shoulders. All right, so come on down to your back. But first, take it slowly. Soles of your feet are on your mat. Hands to prayer center. Come back to recline. Come all the way down to reclined. Bend your knees, both knees. Lift your right leg up. Place the outside of your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Push the inner right thigh open. Keep it here. Maybe lift your left foot up off of your mat and draw that left knee towards your chest. Woo, push that inner right thigh open or not. Just imagine the outside of the right knee going toward the bottom of the mat. As you hug, pull that left knee in towards your chest. Recline to figure 4. Bring the foot down. Bring the other foot down. Other side. Right foot stays down. Left leg lifts. Outside of the left ankle, on top of the right thigh. Push the inner left thigh open. Maybe stay right there. Or lift the right leg up, drawing that knee toward your chest, pushing the inner left thigh open, imagining the outer left knee going to the bottom of the mat as you pull that right knee in, and hold it. Right foot down, left foot down, arms down by your sides. Press your hands into your mat. Now soften in the shoulders a little bit more. Push the weight into your feet and let your hips lift up. There's your bridge pose. Lift. Tuck your shoulder blades under. Nice stretch in the front of your chest. Shoulders are strong. Push hard into your feet. Lift your bridge a little bit higher and hold it. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Supine twist, left leg long on your mat. Draw your toes up towards your shins. Interlaced fingers, or use that towel to hug the right knee in. Take a twist, roll over onto your left hip. Let that knee work toward the earth. Maybe release your right arm, look to the right. Keep your right shoulder down on the mat. Bring the knee back to the midline of the body. Send the right leg long. Left legs turn. Right leg is long and straight. Left heel drags on up. Interlace fingers or the towel, hug the left knee in. Right hand takes the left knee, lets it cross over the midline of your body. Roll onto your right hip. Right hand encourages the knee down. Left arm tees out and you look left. Breathe. Left hip comes down, gaze goes back up, release the left leg long. Final Shavasana pose. All right, let your heels go toward the edges of your mat. Take your eye shade or your towel, cover your eyes. I know some of you like to take the towel and place it in that little like mouse hole behind your neck, and maybe that feels good. Yeah, that does feel good. Maybe you like that. Give it a try. Cover your eyes with your eye shade, arms down by your sides, palms face up. Wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine and release all that you got. Let your body be heavy. Deep breath in. Big sighing breath out. Soften the area between your eyebrows. You don't even realize it, but yeah, you were holding on to tension there. Let it go. Imagine your eyes as heavy in their eye sockets. Imagine what you could imagine if you really just imagine it. Imagine your limbs as heavy. Let your pinky toes fall to the edges of the mat. Your limbs are heavy, but your heart and your spirit are light. Take a deep breath in. And a deep, slow breath out. Your throat is soft, your breath is soft. And if you have your remote control nearby, here's what you could do. You could hit pause and stay here in your final Shavasana for, 5 minutes is a nice amount of time. Or whatever works for you. Maybe it's 20. No rules. You just be at peace and enjoy this time of conscious relaxation. And then when it's time for you to close out your practice, you might hit the play button again and come back and meet us right here, where we take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead, point your toes down, reach your arms high and stretch it out like it's the first stretch you take before you even get out of bed in the morning. As you exhale, bend your knees and your elbows, roll into a fetal position, a position of new beginnings, of starting over. And starting over is good. Let your head rest on your bicep. Let your top shoulder be soft and away from your ears. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Stay here as long as you want, but then when you're ready, press on up to a seated position. Be conscious of using your hands or not. Either way is okay. Accept it. Have acceptance for how you get up, but just be aware of how you get up. Don't mindlessly use your hands because you got a strong core. Use your strong core. All right. Bring your hands to prayer center. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Shoulders soft. Straight spine. You got it. Big, strong, powerful breath in. And a big sighing breath out, letting all the stress and anything that doesn't serve you, let it go. Why keep it? Why hold on to it? Blink your eyes open. Congratulations, you did it. You did it. You did a 1 hour long yoga practice. Go back to that stress number from the beginning. What was it? And now, what is it? It's a lot better, isn't it? Remember this, you are stronger than you think, and you are improving more than you could ever imagine. And you are perfect just the way you are. Believe it, show up, and good things will happen. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Goodbye. Good girl. See you later. Have a good day. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.